Thor. He's everywhere, isn't he? From
Hmm.
ancient myths to those blockbuster movies. But the thing is, those Thors, they're not quite the same, are they?
That's the interesting part, isn't it? How Thor changes across time. I mean, he's this mirror reflecting how we see heroes, how that idea shifts, from just pure strength to something a little more thoughtful, like responsibility, sacrifice, all that.
Yeah, and even in those old Norse myths where Thor's this powerhouse, they're not afraid to show his less than perfect moments,
Hmm.
right? Like that story everyone knows, Thor goes to the giant's land and they give him those 3 challenges. They seem pretty basic at first.
Ah, those trials in Jotunheim. That's where you see this fun theory thing pop up, and it's not what you'd expect. You've got these tasks Thor's got to do: draining a drinking horn, wrestling some old lady lifting a cat. Sounds like a walk in the park for a god, right? All fun and games.
You'd think so, right? God Thunder should be able to handle that.
Yes.
But there's always a catch with these giants.
Exactly. It's all a trick. The horn's connected to the ocean, that old woman, she's old age itself. And the cat. Oh, that's Jormungandr, the Midgard serpent. Talk about a hidden difficulty level. Makes those tasks way more than they seem.
And that's what makes Thor's almost win so impressive. I mean, even tricked, he drinks a good chunk of the ocean. He holds his own against old age itself. And that serpent, he lifts it enough to shake the earth. That surprise factor, the whole difficulty being hidden like that, that's classic fun theory in action.
Right. That's why the story stuck around so long. It plays with what you think's going to happen. Those giants are sneaky. Thor's reactions are priceless. Plus, you really get a sense of how strong he is, almost beating these impossible things.
It's wild how a myth that old nails something we're still figuring out today. Makes you think how much this fun theory was baked into Norse culture in general.
Don't forget how popular Thor was with everyday people. He wasn't just powerful. He was their protector against all the bad stuff out there. Might explain why people clung to him when Christianity started spreading in Scandinavia.
So you've got this clash of beliefs, the old gods versus this new faith. People were literally wearing Thor's hammer to push back against that.
You bet they were. It was a challenge to everything they knew. Their traditions, their gods, Thor. He was their champion. So that hammer, it was a statement, a way of saying, we're sticking with what we know.
That's how deeply rooted Thor was in their world. Even today, we're still saying Thursday, Thor's Day. Pretty obvious where that came from.
Even thunder comes from Thor's name, Tor. Can you imagine being a Viking, hearing that boom in the sky, seeing it as Thor's power right there? Mythology. It wasn't just stories, it was how they understood everything.
It all goes to show just how big of a figure Thor was, how far his impact reaches even beyond those old stories.
And then we've got this other Thor taking the spotlight today, the Marvel superhero. He's had a bit of a makeover, though, wouldn't you say? At least in how he looks.
From a red-bearded warrior with that horned helmet to Chris Hemsworth all blonde and swinging Mjolnir. Talk about a transformation.
Visually, it's a huge difference. Shows how Marvel's made Thor their own. Updated him for a new audience. But underneath it all, there are some core things both Thors share. They're warriors, protectors, fighting for good. At the end of the day, they're both heroes.
Which makes those differences stand out even more.
Yeah.
Like Mjolnir. In the myths, it's this powerful weapon. Dwarfs made it. But Marvel adds that worthiness thing.
And that one change, it adds this whole other layer to Thor, brings up all these questions about power responsibility. It's not just about being strong enough to lift it. Is there a moral component to it, too? Makes you think.
And that's where fun theory sneaks back in again. Worthiness. It turns Mjolnir into more than just a weapon. It's a test. A challenge, something people can argue about for ages.
Marvel uses that so well, builds tension, explores ideas about what's right and wrong, and of course it gives them all these great storylines. Makes you wonder, what does being worthy even mean? Can you lose it? Can you get it back?
It's in those big moments too, Cap. Picking up Mjolnir, Jane Foster becoming Thor, challenges everything we thought we knew about who's worthy and why.
And it all comes from that one little tweak to the myth. Marvel takes this old symbol, makes it more complex, and they create something that's familiar but completely new.
That's what's so cool about adapting a figure like Thor. You've got this rich history to draw on, but you can add these new layers, make it relevant for people today.
It's all about adaptation, right? That's the secret to Thor's lasting appeal. He's this timeless figure who keeps evolving, reflecting our values, challenging how we see a hero. And then there's the whole Thor and Loki thing, that brotherly rivalry. Marvel added that, right? It's not really in the Norse myths.
It adds this whole other level of drama, though, doesn't it? Suddenly, it's not just good versus evil. It's family betrayal. These two brothers going down totally different paths.
Their fights mean so much more now, don't they? Because there's this history between them. It reminds you that even family, it's not always simple. You've got the love, the loyalty, but then there's the jealousy, the ambition, all that mixed together. That's what makes those stories so gripping. People connect with that.
It plays out so well in those Marvel movies, too. Like in the Avengers, you've got that scene where Thor's talking about protecting Earth. So serious about it.
Yeah.
Feels like a callback to the Norse myths, a little wink to that protector role. Even it's a whole different situation now.
It's a smart way to bridge the two, isn't it? The old myth Thor and this modern superhero. Marvel's good at that, balancing those two sides. The god of thunder with his ancient roots and this guy dealing with a world that's changed a lot.
Speaking of those ancient roots, it's interesting how much people are into Norse mythology these days. It's not just because of the comics and movies either. It's like they're really digging into those old stories.
It's like a rediscovery, right? Look at that new Norse temple they're building in Iceland. First one in, 1,000 years? Those myths, they speak to something deep inside us, I think. That connection to where we come from, the power of nature, that whole fight between order and chaos, it never gets old.
I wonder if fun theory plays a part in that too. Those myths. They're full of challenges and trickery, unexpected stuff happening. Maybe that's what draws people in, keeps you on your toes, makes you think.
Could be. Those elements definitely keep things interesting. Norse myths, they make you work for it. They turn things upside down, make you question everything. The characters, what they do, it's not just a passive thing.
It's like a mental workout disguised as a good story. You're not just sitting there taking it all in. You're actively trying to figure things out, untangling the knots, connecting it to your own life.
And this Norse mythology revival, it's happening right alongside Marvel's Thor being so popular, tells you something right. People want these stories that connect us to the past, but they also deal with what we're worried about today.
It's like both Thors, the ancient god and the Marvel version. They're tapping into the same basic idea, just from different angles. We see ourselves in them, in their struggles, their wins, even when they mess up. It's a reminder that even gods, even superheroes, they're not perfect. We all make choices, and those choices matter.
And Marvel takes that even further right. They make Thor impulsive sometimes, a bit reckless. He screws up, faces the consequences, learns from it. That's something people today can relate to. More human.
You see it in Thor, Ragnarok.
Yeah.
He loses Mjolnir, his eye, his whole world. It's like he's stripped bare, forced to confront his weaknesses, figure out who he is without all that.
But those trials, they show you how strong he is underneath. It's that resilience that comes from accepting you're not perfect. Finding a way forward. Powerful message for people to see, even when you lose it all. You can still grow. You can change for the better.
Shows you the power of Thor's story. Both versions, mythological and superheroic. He's all about overcoming the odds, coming out the other side even stronger. It's like he's this jolt of energy, reminding us we can do it too, even when things are rough.
Brings us back to that big question. Why do we still love Thor? After all this time, all these different versions of him, is it the myths, the whole strong hero thing? Or is it something deeper?
Maybe it's all of it wrapped together. We see bits of ourselves in him, and how he fights, how he wins, even how he loses. He wants to be strong, to be brave, to stand up for what's right. And that's something we all want, isn't it?
And don't forget how many different Thors there are now. That's part of what keeps him interesting. The classic red-bearded warrior, the long-haired Marvel hero, even a female Thor in the comics now. He's become this blank slate, almost adaptable. You can interpret him in all these different ways.
Thor, it's not just one thing anymore, is it? It's an idea that goes beyond cultures. It's about strength, courage, resilience. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from.
That's what keeps him relevant, I think. He's not just a god of thunder anymore. He represents that desire we all have, to be strong, to have courage, to face whatever life throws at us and not give up.
It's amazing how this guy, from one little corner of the world, became this global icon, inspiring people everywhere. What does that tell us about stories? About how they can break down barriers between people and across time?
Stories. They connect us on a level we don't always see. They're about those basic human truths, the hopes, the fears, the struggles, the victories. Those things, they matter just as much today as they did 1,000 years ago. It reminds us we're all in this together. We're all human.
Stories. They give us a way to understand who we are, where we fit in. They make us think about our values, what we do, what we want to achieve. They're like a lens to look at ourselves and the world, to figure out those big questions that people have been asking forever.
And Thor, he embodies all of that. His story. It's in myths, it's in comics, it's in movies. He's like this reminder that we can grow, we can be resilient, we can keep pushing for something better.
This has been an amazing look at Thor. As we wrap things up, is there one last thought you want to leave our listeners with? Something they can think about as they go about their lives? Maybe even inspire them to explore Thor a little more on their own. It really is something else, a figure from a whole different time and place, and he still speaks to us today. Thor's journey from those ancient myths to this modern superhero, it just shows you the power of stories.
And the thing is, we can find that fun theory in our own lives too. Thor's challenges in those myths and the Marvel stuff, it's all about how much we like a good puzzle, a good challenge, when things aren't what they seem.
Like those trials with the giants. They were onto something with that, weren't they? Simple on the surface, but underneath all these twists and turns.
It makes you want to play along, doesn't it? And when you crack the code, solve the puzzle, it feels good.
Yeah.
You accomplish something. It's like taking those everyday boring things and making them fun.
Makes you think, how can we do that more often? Can we turn those tough things we got to do into something more playful, more creative?
What if we went at that big project at work, like Thor facing those giants? Instead of, it's another day at the grind, it's a chance to try something new, use what you know in a different way.
It's all about changing how we see things, right? Turning those obstacles into a game, finding the fun in it. And when you beat the odds, there's nothing like that feeling.
Don't forget about resilience, too. Thor gets knocked down. He loses things, he doubts himself, but he always gets back up, stronger than before.
Thor. Ragnarok. That's a perfect example. He loses everything, his hammer, his eye, his home. But he doesn't just give up. He faces it head on, figures out who he is without all that.
It's not about pretending things are easy. It's knowing that life's going to throw you curveballs. And it's about what you do next. You pick yourself up, you learn from it, you keep going.
You find that strength inside you.
Yeah.
You grow from those tough times.
Yeah.
And you use that to keep moving forward.
Thor, he's both tough and vulnerable at the same time. That's what makes him real. He shows us how to handle the messiness of life. He reminds us that it's okay to be strong and to have feelings.
Real strength. It's not about hiding your weaknesses. It's about letting them make you a better person, a more complete person.
So as we finish up here, think about what parts of Thor's story really hit home for you. What do you admire about him? What can you learn from him?
And how can you use those lessons? How can you tap into that strength, that resilience, that never give up attitude? We all need that when things get rough.
Remember, there's a little bit of Thor in all of us. That potential to do great things, to be brave, to care about others. It's about finding that spark and letting it grow. Being honest about our strengths and our weaknesses and always trying to be better.
Thor's story. It's a reminder that even when it feels like the world's against you, you have the power to choose your path, to fight for what you believe in, and to come out stronger on the other side. Thanks for joining us on this electrifying journey. Until next time, keep those imaginations sparked and remember there's a little bit of Thor in all of us.